is up, guys? I didn't say, hey, what's up, YouTube, because I'm posting this to Patreon first, and then YouTube will get it the next day. Seems like it's fair, right? At any rate, we got a lot to go over in this particular video because so much crazy stuff is happening, and I'm trying to keep everybody apprised of what's going on. But I'm having my own internal struggles right now because literally understanding what they're doing right now and literally watching everybody else's reaction or lack thereof is astonishing to me. We have just surpassed $40 trillion on the national debt. Now that number is not real, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just posted this morning or yesterday on Jailbreak as a short. This is crazy. Think about this. This guy's talking about last time he was running for president, the national debt was 20 trillion. This time it's 40 trillion. In that short period of time, it's doubled. In the short period of time that Donald Trump has been the president of the corporation of the United States of America, his personal wealth has doubled. Billions. As president, sitting president, his personal wealth has doubled. This isn't a government. This isn't a country. This isn't a democracy. This is a takeover right in front of everyone's faces, and people are focusing on exactly the wrong things by design. Charlie Kirk, Epstein files, flock cameras. So many diversions have been put out there. Dude, they're even bringing up Tupac Shakur's death all over again because you got to hit all bases. You know what I'm saying? But they're doing this. This is happening right now. And I can't possibly, you know what? Let me show it to you. Let me see if this makes sense.
If we have another 3 or 4 years, you know, we're at 18 trillion now. We're soon going to be at 20 trillion. According to the economists, who I'm not big believers in, but nevertheless, this is what they're saying, that 24 trillion, we're very close. That's the point of no return. $24 trillion. We will be there soon. That's when we become Greece. That's when we become a country that's unsalvageable. And we're going to be there very soon. Big believers in, but nevertheless, this is what they're saying. That 24 trillion, we're very close. That's the point of no return. $24 trillion. We will be there soon. That's when we become Greece. That's when we become a country that's unsalvageable.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Trump's first presidency, we're at $18 trillion. $18 trillion. Trump's second presidency that just started, his personal wealth doubled by completely illegal means right out in the open. He launched a meme coin and then rug pulled all of his supporters. There's no bigger slap in the face than that. It's like Jake Paul on steroids. You see what I'm saying? But that happened. And then his wife did it too and doubled. I mean, that is a crime. There's no way you're sitting president. And I mean, not even to mention his boys, his whole family. They've all made ridiculous billions of dollars. They're looting the country. They're destroying the country right now, right in front of everybody's faces. This isn't even a secret. It's not a secret in any way whatsoever at all. You see what I'm saying? This is the end. This is the last president. America will not survive. America isn't going to survive because they're not fixing the roads. They're not doing what your taxes pay for whatsoever at all. They're allowing crime to run roughshod because that way there, the people that still think if I just vote harder, something will fix, they can justify the 100% AI surveillance system that is literally going to replace law enforcement, which replaced police officers, which replaced cops. The next level is robots and drones. Straight up, and they don't care. Go to city council all you want. Go to city council and lay out the facts, and they'll sit there and go,
Since January of 2023, the City of Ozark has purchased, installed, and operated a total of 12 Flock Falcon ALPRs, automated license plate readers, manufactured by the private security company Flock Safety. On the surface, this doesn't seem all that concerning. Not all that different from the license plate readers used to track toll charges or stoplight infringements. But if you look into Flock Safety, their products, and their practices, you will quickly find that automated license plate reader is a misnomer. In fact, these cameras don't even require a license plate to track a vehicle. As per Flock Safety's website and the contract between Flock Safety and the Ozark Police Department, vehicles can be tracked based on make, model, color, or even by more unique features like bumper stickers or bike racks. When searching through the footage collected by these cameras, users can even input information about the people involved in the footage, such as their hair color or clothes that they're wearing, to narrow down their search, all with the help of Flock's AI search tools. And these cameras are running motion detection 24/7, collecting footage that can be accessed by anyone in the police force at the click of a button, as well as any other agencies nationwide that they choose to share it with. So for the remainder of this talk, I will be referring to these cameras by what they really are, not ALPRs, but AI surveillance cameras. Defenders of Flock will argue that the use of these cameras isn't any more invasive than the traditional security cameras used by businesses. While it's true that camera surveillance is incredibly common in the public sphere, the key difference is in the requirements to access the data collected. When you walk into a grocery store or a bank or any other business around town, you are almost certainly under video surveillance. However, the security camera on which you're recorded is run independently from the one used by the business next door. These surveillance systems are not centralized. The data collected is distinct and cannot be viewed and analyzed all at once by simply inputting a username and password. If law enforcement were trying to piece together footage to track the movements of an individual over an entire day, they would be required to obtain a warrant to view the security footage captured by each business individually. Using Flock's AI surveillance cameras, individuals and their vehicles can be tracked without a warrant from any device with a valid username and password inputted. Furthermore, if local law enforcement so chooses, the data collected here in Ozark, the footage of our own constituents, most of whom are unaware of our own city's use of Flock cameras, can be made accessible to agencies across the country. By opting into Flock's safety sharing network, data sharing relationships can be formed with agencies in California, Illinois, Georgia, or even the FBI. There have been numerous cases in other communities where, without the consent of the constituents, Flock data has been shared with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, helping ICE to hunt down individuals in a truly dystopian display of pervasive tracking. When data is centralized and accessible without accountability like this, there's no other term for it than mass surveillance. While it has its moments of usefulness, it is well known that AI is imperfect. AI makes mistakes. Sometimes these mistakes are as simple as confusing a 0 with an O or a 1 with an L, but when it comes to Flock cameras, these little mistakes have real consequences. In February, a family was pulled over by police in Arkansas, their car having been flagged as stolen by a Flock camera. With their guns drawn, officers ordered the couple out of their vehicle and handcuffed them while their 2 young children watched from the back seat. Only then was it revealed that their plate had been misread by a single letter by an AI Flock camera, labeling an innocent family as car thieves. This is not a one-time incident. Errors like this are all too common, and the consequences are not only unjust, but also unsafe. And technology is not the only risk associated with these AI surveillance cameras. There are also countless documented cases of misuse. In Joplin, an officer was fired earlier this year for abusing his access to Flock cameras, searching the same license plate nearly 400 times without a case number he was attaching to the searches. In Brentwood, up by St. Louis, an officer used Flock cameras to track his ex-wife. Flock system users can even tag specific plates, adding them to a hot list, and being notified each time that that vehicle or the vehicle associated is captured by a Flock camera, further exacerbating the potential danger of misuse. In the words of Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, Flock has built a dangerous platform in which abuse of surveillance data is almost certain. Now, I am in no way questioning the morality and responsibility of our own police force here in Ozark, but the idea of anyone having warrantless access to this sort of data is alarming and dangerous. I could keep going on and on about these horror stories, but even beyond these incidents, the nature of Flock safety is one of mass surveillance and of privacy violation. Fundamentally, Flock safety and the use of their AI surveillance cameras is unjust and is an entirely un-American approach to security. This type of warrantless surveillance goes against the nature of our constitutional Fourth Amendment and forces all of us unwilling constituents into a discomforting security measure that we cannot choose to opt out of. You cannot replace the threat of crime with the threat of mass surveillance and violation of rights and call it protection. Instead, I urge you to reconsider our city's approach to security and immediately terminate all contracts with Flock Safety and all use of Flock Safety products. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next, we have the subject regarding recycling.
The hottest topic on the internet right now is Flock cameras. Why do you think that is? Because they want you focusing on Flock, so you're not looking at the other 10 companies that are actively easily and efficiently finishing up because they've already installed them. They're already all in. You see what I'm saying? That's what all this is for. The data centers are all in America. We have twice as much as the rest of the world combined for a reason. The United States, I really wish people wouldn't contact me ever. How about that? We have more data centers than the rest of the world. We have twice as many data centers as the rest of the world combined because the United States is a wasteland. They have completely decimated this place. There's no history here. There's no amazing buildings. There's no structures. There's no anything except the burial sites of giants all over the United States. And we'll get to that in a minute too. I'm going to cover a lot of topics in one video because I can't make videos all day long. I got things to do, man. I really do. I'm actually living what I'm saying to you because people have gotten confused over the last couple of decades. They've given us so many. The Pentagon's about to do Jade Helm, and everyone freaks. You know what I mean? We've gotten so many things where it was like, this is it, this is it. Well, this is it. This is it. And a blind man could see it right now. Do you see what I'm saying? And anyway, that text just screwed me up. I forgot where I was going with this. But let's start with this like I always do, because this is just pathetic. This is justification of a 100% surveillance system, and law enforcement is going above and beyond, pit maneuvering the wrong people, shooting innocent people, showing up at the wrong house by design. Because if you replace those with robots just do logic. That's it. That's all there is to it. This is all a great big play, and we're at the shuddering crescendo. The fat lady is about to sing. So here we go.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yep, this is why we can't have nice things. A small school in New York was doing a project of growing corn. And well, this guy just couldn't leave that be.
Then a man rides up on a city bike and starts tearing it down. The kids who planted this corn are little kids. They're 3, 4, 5 years old, and their teachers told me that when they came out here and they found their corn gone, they were heartbroken. Over here, right behind me, you can see these big stalks of corn just chucked in the trash like it was garbage. And this corn was actually planted back in April, so these kids have been watching it grow for months. Before the destruction of the corn on the curb, it had started to become famous on the Upper East Side.
We loved coming by and checking in on the corn.
Sorry, you can't have nice things.
From his bunny ears to his Dodger blue, the Sinclair dinosaur was a Brentwood favorite.
It's a beloved dinosaur from Brentwood. All the kids loved it.
Is that so? Well, you can't have it.
But now he's extinct. This prehistoric prankster in a hoodie crept across the parking lot with a power tool early Saturday morning, then loads it into a pickup truck and pulls away.
Look at those beautiful flowers. Nope, they've got to go. Why? Because a lowlife with a garbage bag doesn't want you to be able to beautify your town just a little bit. Sorry. Ah, you like being able to walk into church with a railing? Well, too bad.
Officers say they're valued at about $8,000. Investigators tell us a similar theft took place here in 2019 when at least 2 handrails were stolen. One concern is just the cost to be able to fix this. The other one is the safety for folks going up and down the stairs.
St. Pius X Catholic School had its bronze tiger on campus for more than a decade. Overnight, at least 2 men stole it, hauling the tiger away in a wagon.
All that's left, paws in the dirt.
The red is a new blade.
Miguel Flores is a parent of a student at St. Pius X and also owns the company that landscapes the property.
You don't steal from church, you don't steal from kids. And you did both.
How much you want to bet most of the people doing things like this already have a criminal record or are here illegally? This, of course, is something that could be stopped easily and quickly. But I'll see you in a few weeks with more examples of why we can't have nice things.
Now, I use that channel a lot. Because I watch it every day. Because to make a video, a 20-minute video, a 15-minute video, and putting out the kind of information that I'm putting out while trying to steer clear of all the never-ending, non-stop distractions takes an enormous amount of time. I wake up in the morning, I start drinking my coffee, and then I have to research and research and research and research. You see what I'm saying? So that video right there just shows where people are at. People wouldn't act like that if the law did its job. Do you see what I'm saying? If there was consequences for your actions, people would think twice, but they don't because there aren't, and that's all by design. Look at how bad crime is absolutely everywhere. Look at all these people that don't belong in this country that we let in, that we flew in, that we bust in, that we gave cell phones, ATM cards, backpacks full of clean clothes, and shipped them right off to the biggest city we possibly could. That happened. That happened. Problem, reaction, solution. But the reaction to all this is crime is going to get so bad, and crime is bad, okay? It's going to get so bad, and the law enforcement officers are abusing their positions so bad. Someone told them they could. Qualified immunity lets them get away with absolutely anything, but it's getting to the point where every single solitary day, cops are killing someone that had nothing to do with anything. Well, what can you do? What can you do? Can't trust humans anymore. We got to bring in the robots. It's a very, very obvious plan that's going on right now, and yet 9 out of 10 people are making excuses for the agenda, and 9 out of 10 people think they can vote their way out of it. And the other 1 out of 10, us, most people don't even have the ability to take a stand. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to use your family, your job, your livelihood, your ability to eat, everything against you. And most people, sad to say, that 1 out of 10 are going to crumble, leaving about a 0.002 out of 10 that are actually going to do what needs to be done. This world ain't for me no more, man. This world is not for me anymore. I'm focusing on what's real. So if you don't like the channel, leave. I don't care. I make nothing off of this. You know what I mean? Except for you guys on Patreon, the actual solid people. It's astonishing. Whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. But here, let me show you this right now, because this is crazy.
We are staying on top of the breaking news. As of right now, it's not known what sparked an apparent standoff on 495.
But normally, of course, the highway is very busy at this hour. It has been turned into a parking lot for several hours. Let's get out to NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson. He's been tracking the breaking news in Lowell along 495. Malcolm, what's the latest?
Well, Glenn, throughout the evening, this is what we've seen here on the Boylston Street Bridge. This is just over 495. If you take a look, you can see members of the Lowell Police Department and their cruisers as they have been securing this scene. Where we want to take you now is just below where we are standing. That is on I-495, and we have this new video that has just come in to our newsroom. In it, you can see the robo-dog that officers had been using going up to the car in question here, and it breaks the rear passenger window. We've also got video of a drone that was flying over the vehicle to see inside of the pickup truck. It's a silver pickup truck that had been surrounded by law enforcement. And we've also got this video of SWAT team breaking through the front window and then eventually securing the scene. What this had done for commuters is hard to put into context because many of them had been sitting in traffic for hours, just trying to get home, not knowing exactly what had been taking place. You might be able to hear behind me, mucho tráfico para allá, is a woman saying essentially there's a lot of traffic in this direction. That's on Sprague Avenue. It's just one of the many roads where traffic has been diverted here in Lowell. So as we continue to follow this developing story, it seems, Glenn and JC, to be reaching a conclusion where we have a robo-dog that was being used, a drone that has been put into place, a number of different tactics to try and bring this suspect into custody. And as we continue to get more developments and details on this story, of course, we'll be reporting them. But for an instance in a situation that has been playing out for several hours now, thankfully, has seemingly reached a conclusion. Again,
now that just happened a couple of weeks ago or a week ago in Boston, okay? First, I showed you that for a reason. Look at how many personnel, how much equipment, how many robot dogs to take down one person in a car. And instead of doing it not on the highway where if a shootout breaks out, everyone doesn't have to get, they're not all the backdrop. They're not all going to catch a bullet because of whatever reason. They could have waited. They could have got that dude off of the highway. You know what I mean? We have the technology to do that, but they're not. But look at what it took to take down one person with a handgun. Seriously? A robot dog, 2 Bearcats full of SWAT guys, the entire highway shut down. So if you're in traffic, oh well, too bad, too bad. Law enforcement's here. Do you see what I'm saying? This never used to happen, but now it happens all the time. But look at how many resources it took to take down one person. Imagine if people actually woke up and said, wait a minute. Who are these lying pedophile scumbags that are pretending to be authorities that are raping the country literally of all of its resources, of its future, of its water, of its electricity, of absolutely everything, and poisoning us with the food, the water, the air, every single solitary day of the week, while pushing violent music on our children and pushing pedophilia as a mental disorder. Do you see what I'm saying? What if people woke up and said, wait a minute, they don't have any jurisdiction over me. God gave me life. I'm on this earth. I'm not hurting anybody. I pay my taxes. Shut up. Yeah, too bad. F you. They don't care about that. And yes, my tooth broke. So now, isn't that great? I don't care. I do not care. I could fix it, but I don't care. I really don't care because this is really going down right now. I think the least of my worries for the moment is another tooth missing. Beautiful, right? Nice. At any rate, this is why we have all these data centers to control all the robots and all the drones, while these people that put us in this situation, all the new billionaires that didn't used to exist, now they're all billionaires. And meanwhile, our national debt's $40 trillion. It's secretly about $180 trillion, all owed to the Rothschild family. Every country's economy is owed to the Rothschild family, but I digress. All these billionaires go hide in their underground bunkers that I've been telling you about for well over a decade. You know what I mean? It's not even a secret in any way whatsoever at all. That is the plan. That's why all the data centers, America will be the command and control center, because on every world war, you have to have a command and control center. America is completely done. Floods, wildfires, tornadoes, absolutely everywhere all day. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the media doesn't even talk about things like this at all. You see what I'm saying? They need all this. The data centers are for opening and stabilizing portals, that's my theory, to control the robots and everything else, and for whoever's left, for the last sheep they allow to stay here, the people that get their shots and they get their digital dollar and their social credit score and all this other stuff, they will be monitored 24/7 at all times, exactly like Minority Report, but probably worse. And it's already been tested, okay? China has already done exactly what America is doing, or has done, just hasn't flipped the switch for all to see yet. They've been doing it for well over a decade with under a couple of hundred data centers at the time. Now they have slightly under 400, 369 if memory serves. We have 5,000 and counting. America is a wasteland. They're done with it. They're going to go to the other side of the ice wall. They're going to go to other countries, whatever they're going to do, but it ain't going to be here. America has been bled dry, and your eyes should tell you that. But on that, I will digress.
They can perform dance moves and show off roundhouse kicks, or maybe offer a ride. Robots, it seems, are everywhere in China, in all shapes, sizes, and speeds, with companies rolling out more powerful humanoid resources. This robot conference, a show of intense competition among startups here. And happening alongside it, the second annual Humanoid Games in Beijing, where nearly 700 teams are expected to compete for gold, more than double the size of last year's. It's all a sign of how seriously China is betting on robotics as the next industrial revolution.
These days, there's a lot of hype around this company, Unitree. That's one of the world's biggest makers of humanoids and robot dogs. The company has just started trading publicly on the Shanghai Stock Exchange, and shares popped 500% on day one.
Its latest model may explain why. A humanoid called Superman that can jump 6.5 feet and claims to sprint faster than world record holder Usain Bolt, although it crashed into a wall right after crossing the finish line. Still, it's leaps and bounds ahead of where sporting humanoids were last year when we attended China's first ever robot games.
This event is being billed as the first of its kind.
Teams competing in soccer, track events, and tasks like moving luggage.
There are hundreds of robot companies here in China making machines that can do backflips or run faster than people if that's what you want your robot to do. But a big focus here at the World Robot Conference in Beijing is on robots that can do tasks that are, well, mundane or boring even by human standards.
So you see news stories like that, you think it's ridiculous because it ran into a wall. But here's the fun part, and most of you already know this. The robots they're showing us now are not the robots that they have in their deep underground military bases that are absolutely all over this earth, everywhere. Okay? They're always 50 to 75 years ahead of us was always the old school of thought. But the way technology is progressing, they're probably 200 years ahead of us, and the robots that they have are going to be unbelievable, and they need to control them with data centers so they don't lose control of them, which they probably will. But it's always fun to see articles like this where autonomous robots confirmed to have killed human soldiers. We've already seen this. We already knew this was happening, but here we go. It's all official now. You see what I'm saying? Everything they show us is old. Everything that they show us is old. They are creating so much chaos right now. It is utterly insane. We've never seen it like this before, but the end of the 2025 Olympics should have warned us, because it did warn us. It was right there. It showed everything burning down and coming back again, rising as a phoenix. That's their whole thing. And speaking of that, watch this video if you already haven't, because he's doing a great job on this channel. The only part that he's missing, and it's not a knock to him, you can't force this on people, is the true belief in Jesus Christ, Yeshua, our Savior, God's only begotten Son. Otherwise, he's on it.
Ask you a question. Do you believe that we will lose control of artificial intelligence? Do you think AI will go rogue in the future? It seems inevitable, right? Well, guess what? It's already happening. Allegedly.
It's a great video. I think I've watched it 3 times already. I'm going to get Rory back on for a live stream if the creek don't rise and the good God's willing. But we'll see about that. But we're in some crazy times right now. You know what I mean? People are protesting. People are waking up. People are standing up, but they're going to the government to stop the government. Do you see what I mean? People should be in front of the White House with pitchforks and torches right now and for the last 10 months, because the president, the entire government, is a joke. It's just an organized crime ring that does not care what you think whatsoever at all. They're just grabbing everything they can with 2 hands because they know what the end result is. By the time people actually maybe somehow, somewhat discover that we're Americans and we can actually do something about this, at least do some damage, the people they're going to try to go after will probably be robots or body doubles or, remember Joe Biden? Remember the 5, 6, 7, 8 different Joe Bidens we had? Remember the last Joe Biden that ran up to the interviewers? He ran up to the reporters, which the president doesn't do, and then ran away afterwards. That was just basically one of these right in your face, because Joe Biden couldn't run if Joe Biden was even alive. Okay, this video is getting long. It's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have to take the video, I have to upload it off Premiere Pro, and then I have to downgrade it on an application called Handbrake so that it's not 6 gigabytes long, so I can upload it to Patreon and then to YouTube. So everybody keeps sending me this video right here. And this is amazing because I spoke to somebody who actually went down the river in the Grand Canyon back in the 80s, I believe, or the 70s, and took people to the place that we're not allowed to go anymore. Well, apparently, this guy, according to everyone that keeps sending me the link, this guy has done it. He has gone to the forbidden area in the Grand Canyon, and this is the footage that he got, you know, where it was all Egyptian, and you'll see.
I spent 30 days hiking through the most mysterious canyon on Earth to show you places you've never seen before, places more impressive than the Great Pyramids of Egypt. But here's the big question. Ask yourself, why haven't you seen these before?
Check this out. Going through the secret tunnel, and there is another ancient structure.
So this is amazing. This guy is intimating that he snuck into the Grand Canyon forbidden area that nobody's allowed to go to whatsoever at all, since people discovered back in the early 1900s that there were Egyptian artifacts, massive halls, exactly what he's showing. They were saying that this all existed. This was completely real. And to me, this was interesting as heck. But I'm watching it first thing in the morning, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm checking this to see if this is AI. Because you can do that. You can download a piece of a video, put it on a free AI checker to see if it's AI or not. And it's not real at all. This kid's an absolute liar.
This man is a liar, and I can prove it. This is Mr. Mountain Beast, and over the past week, he posted a pair of videos, both titled, "I Snuck Into a Big Forbidden Canyon. What I Found Changed Everything." They've gone somewhat viral in the pseudo-archaeology spaces, the first video alone gaining 1.3 million views and counting. But these videos are full of lies. In them, Mr. Mountain Beast repeatedly claims that he trekked 30 days, hundreds of miles to a forbidden remote area to bring you footage of a place never before seen on the internet.
30 days alone, hiking hundreds of miles to show you footage never before seen anywhere on the internet.
And he never, ever tells you the name of the place he's in. But unfortunately for him, I have the specific brand of autism that makes me really good at recognizing ancient buildings. What Mr. Mountain Beast isn't telling you is that he's not actually in a remote forbidden area hundreds of miles into the backcountry, but rather he is at the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Petra, and he is hiking along public trails less than a kilometer from the nearest resort. In the most recent of the two videos, he is on the Al-Madras Trail, and he shows on camera structures like the Tomb of the Roman Soldier, the Garden Temple, and the Lion Fountain, which he calls the Lion Monolith, and he claims that he is the first person to notice that there would have been water flowing out of the lion's mouth from the water channels above it. Buddy, it is literally called the Lion Fountain. I think other people noticed. He claims to have set up camp in the Garden Temple, but if we look at some other older pictures of this structure, we can see that this camp has actually been set up there since at least 2019. So maybe, just maybe, he's not actually camping there, he's lying through his teeth. This exact brand of lying about the places he travels to can actually be seen in many of his videos, which has compelled me to look into him further. So if you'd like to see a pseudo-archaeology grifter takedown, come follow me on YouTube. That video is coming soon.
So, see that? There's a reason I say, please don't send me YouTube videos. What I say alone. I'm not making videos on whatever's trending and then putting a clip of something trending, and then I go, that's crazy, don't you think? But look at this. And then I show you another trending clip. That's not what I'm doing here. It's not what I've ever done here. You can simply check it to see if it's AI generated. That came back as an 87% AI. It's not real. The whole thing isn't real, and it bums me out that certain people really think that that stuff was accurate. It's not whatsoever at all. Stick to what's important right now. Those kind of things are interesting, but it wasted 30 minutes of my time, and the whole time I'm sitting there going, how did this dude get in there? I've been to the Grand Canyon. I mean, I'm talking down in the Grand Canyon for days at a time. Actually, on this particular road trip. You know what I'm saying? And you can't get there. You can't get where you're not supposed to go. They shut you down quick. Nothing to see, but helicopters and drones and armed men will show up if you get anywhere even remotely close to it. And this dude has been getting millions of views straight up 100% lying and using AI. And people buy it hook, line, and sinker, which blows me away. And finally, to wrap this up, Silicon Cowboy has put out another video where he's explaining how they're putting these adaptations on every streetlight. So there'll be a literal camera on every single streetlight. These are the companies I was telling you to watch, not Flock. These are the companies. Everyone's focusing on Flock, and nobody's paying attention to this right here. Remember all the C19 LED lights they put up during COVID? These are them, and they can simply plug into the top this little thing you wouldn't even notice with all these little cameras underneath that you can't reach, and you wouldn't notice. They plug them in with these little fun photocell receptacles, 3, 5, or 7 pin. They had this all planned out big time, and this is what we're looking at right now. This is it. 100% surveillance absolutely everywhere. Driving up and down the streets in garbage trucks, school buses, police cars, drones absolutely everywhere, and now in every single street light. This video is great. He does a great job. But at the very end, he tells you what you can do, and every single solitary thing he talks about what you can do is to literally contact the government and tell them to cut it out. Vote. You know what I mean? He's there. He's there. He's doing the research. He's finding the evidence. He's proving my point that flock is a distraction. I knew it when they were made. When I realized how cheap they were, I'm like, these things, you could push this over with your mountain bike. You could push it over with your hand, which everyone's doing. That's the bait. And it gives them, not only does it keep people looking that way, it also gives them the ability to study our reaction because they need this data. It's never happened before in the United States, but it's coming really, really, really soon. And they're already bringing in the evangelist preachers to talk about getting the flock ready, no pun intended, get ready for UFOs, because there's 4 types of aliens, and one of them happens to be reptilians. How many times are we going to be right here before people understand that this is an agenda? Our entire history is a complete 100% lie. They've done everything they can, genetically modified food, fluoridated water, barium, strontium, aluminum, which is heavy metal poisoning, which causes Alzheimer's and autisms, vaccines, medications, recreational drugs, flooding our country with illicit drugs so they can become billionaires, and billionaires, and they are. You take away all the billionaires, we don't have a national debt because they're stealing it straight from us, and they're passing laws so they can do it and not get in trouble for it. Do you see what I'm saying? At any rate, if I forgot anything, I'll make another video if the creek don't rise and good God's willing. At any rate, Richie from Boston, I'm out.